back in the day when I was, after college, I was working downtown in Chicago and living with some of my high school buddies, and it was a great place to live and be and do and all this stuff. But at the same time, it was kind of a dark and frustrating time in my life, and because I was doing something that was okay, but it wasn't what the Lord wanted, and I knew it, and I was resisting what He was asking me to do, which was to be a priest, and just remembered that I would say, Lord, I'm so sick and tired of this whole thing. Just leave me alone, and I don't want to do that, and I just want to do this. And it wasn't even like what I was doing. It was okay, but it wasn't making me happy. And but I had all these excuses. I got this great apartment, and I'd like to go to Cub games because I didn't live very far from Wrigley Field, and go to 30 games a year. It was insane. And I had a motorcycle even, which was even more insane. I was afraid to ride it. That's how bad that was. I said, Lord, if you just let me do this my way, I'll say yes. If you let me keep my apartment, go to Cub games, keep all my toys and all that, I'll think about it. Well, you know how God is. He can be awfully stubborn that way. And I went on a retreat at Mundelein for young men discerning priesthood. It's sort of like a final concession. I said, I'm going to go and decide no, and that's it. And I remember sitting in the chapel, we did adoration that night. We played the Blessed Sacrament out on the altar, and about 30 of us were in that chapel praying, and I finally said, Lord, I'm done. I'm sick and tired. And it was that final moment where I just said, you know what? It's yours. And if you let me keep my apartment, keep my Cub games, keep my motorcycle and all these other things, you got a deal. You make it happen. The ball's in your court. And so that was my prayer. But it was a different prayer because I finally just said, all right, I'm finished. I'm total surrender. I was exhausted with the whole thing. Woke up the next day and it was gone, the whole thing. And all that desire, all that anxiety, frustration, all that resistance, just gone. He took it all away. It was amazing. After all that time, he did it. Praise God. The relief, the happiness, oh my gosh, I can still feel it. That's what God does to us. Brings us right to the edge, right? And He saves our lives. That's what adoration does for us. It saves our life. We can be so stubborn about it, though. And all He wants is for us to spend some time with Him. And all He wants for us is to give Him what we have so that He can give us what He has. He can take our meager offering and He can infinitely expand it into some glorious moment of salvation in our lives. Huh? What's our problem, right? What's our deal? And we're about to open that adoration chapel, April 18th, I think. Easter Monday, we'll open it perpetually. And all I'm asking from the parish is that everybody take an hour, 1 hour a week, where you come and you give Jesus what's going on in your life, and He's going to give you what's going on in His. He's going to save your life. Don't resist it. This is what we do. This great quote from some priest who has these locutions, and where he feels like Jesus speaks to him, and he had this great quote, which I read recently. That it's like, that's it exactly. And this is from the point of view of God speaking, okay? How many things I do when the soul, in so much spiritual and material need, turns to me, looks at me and says to me, you take care of it, and then closes its eyes and rests. In pain, you pray for me to act, but that I act in the way you want. You do not turn to me. Instead, you want me to adapt to your ideas. You are not sick people who ask the doctor to cure you, but rather sick people who tell the doctor how to cure you. So do not act this way, but pray as I have taught you, which is, brothers and sisters, just total surrender and total trust. That's what adoration is. We go into the chapel, and the monstrance is there. Jesus on his Mount Tabor, and in the Eucharist, and we look at him, he looks at us. We talk to him, he talks to us. We spend time with him, he spends time with us. We give to him our meager offering, and he gives us something back infinitely expanded and glorious for us to take back with to the same lives that we came in with, but we're changed. Huh? We've surrendered, we've given, we've offered. Yeah. And what is that blessed sacrament? It's the blessed sacrament that we have here on the altar in just a moment, where Jesus comes to us, hidden under the appearance of bread. That same Christ who allowed himself to be crucified on the cross and to take our flesh, our crucified flesh, beyond the veil into heaven, now is hidden under the appearance of bread in an unbloodied way in this Mass, which we get to bring into our bodies, but which we get to adore when we go to adoration. That flesh, hidden under the appearance of bread in the Blessed Sacrament, is that flesh that takes us into heaven, to give us a foretaste and a taste of all that is good and glorious now, so that we can have all that is infinitely good and glorious forever with him in eternity. Huh? When we experience that, how can we not be changed? When we give him our money, our sexuality, our fertility, our vacations, and our entertainment, and our material possessions, and our kids, and all that we worry about there, and all the people in our life whose faith we pray for, and all the relationships that we work at, and sometimes even struggle in, he takes all that, and he heals it. He is the doctor, we are the patient, we are the one who is sick, and he is the only one who can cure us. Why would we not go to him? Why would we not keep that appointment with him 1 hour a week? That's all I'm asking. Pick any hour of the day, from Sunday afternoon to Saturday afternoon, 6 days a week, 24 hours a day. Jesus is going to be in there waiting for us to come to him, to open our hearts to him, and to give him our stuff so that he can give us his love, his mercy, his healing, his power, his grace, his awesomeness. Yeah. 24 hours a day. Pick any hour. Pick those early hours, 1, 2, 3 in the morning. Why not? And you don't like that hour? Then change it. You don't want to be a permanent adorer, then be on the list as a sub, so that when somebody who's permanent gets sick or has to go out of town, you can go on to the Scheduler Pro computer, say you need a sub, and somebody's going to take that spot for you that week. Huh? Be a sub, be permanent, pick your hour, change your hour. But Jesus is waiting, and he wants you to come to him. Why would we wait? We wait because we aren't ready to surrender yet. We aren't ready to give him that hour because we think, if I give him the hour, I'm going to lose something. If I give Jesus something, I'm going to lose something. But that's not how Jesus works. When we give Jesus something, we lose nothing because he is everything, and he gives us himself. You lose nothing. You gain everything. You worry about giving him an hour. Guess what happens? You give him that hour, he's going to multiply your hours. You're going to have more time than you know what to do with. Trust me, this is how it works. God will not be outdone in generosity. And you think, well, I don't know what to do when I go into the chapel. I sit there and for an hour, what am I going to do with that? When I don't have my cell phone and I can't play, Angry Birds or whatever it is we do, our social media. Just no. Yeah, you leave your phone. You're right. You can't do both. You can't talk to Jesus and, play on your phone at the same time. Take that hour, an hour of just coming to be with the God who made you and to give him your life so he can give you his. And remind you of how much he loves you. With that power, you can go out to your life again, changed, stronger, better, holier, happier, more at peace. Just come and, you sit there. I sit in the adoration chapel. Guess what I do? I fall asleep. That's my deal. Now, I don't mean to fall. It's not like my nap time, but I get sleepy. And so I fall asleep. I was downtown at Adoration not too long ago, and at night, and then because they have Wednesday Adoration downtown, and I got sleepy, and I fell asleep. But you know how sometimes you fall asleep and you kind of wake yourself up because you start snoring? So all of a sudden I'm sleeping, and I go like that, and I woke myself up, and there were other people there, and it was like how you get you're self-conscious in the moment. So I look around real quick to see if any, and all I saw was all these people who had been looking at me all of a sudden quickly turn away because they didn't want me to feel embarrassed. Well, it's all right. The Lord doesn't mind. He just wants you to come. If you need to sleep, then that's what it is. If you need to bring a book, bring some spiritual reading. You want to pray your rosary? Great. Bring the Bible. Read some scripture. Do your journal. Just sit there in silence. But the main thing is, through all that, make sure that you give them a little bit of time where you're just open and inviting, where you keep your mouth shut, stop talking for a change, and just let him speak to you. Tell him anything, but be willing to listen to what he wants to say to you. You know, that quote I read you. We're like people going to the doctor, and we're sick, and we tell the doctor, this is what you're going to do for me. And we don't listen to him, and he says, no, this is what you need, though. We're so busy telling him, Jesus, what we want. He's like, he's a vending machine. He's not a Pez dispenser. We just open up his mouth and we take out candy, you know. That's not how Jesus works. You gotta get yourself in proper form. That's what adoration does. It puts us in touch with Jesus in a way that allows us to listen to him and finally surrender to the means and the mercy that he wants us to have that will change our life. And I'm going to put a special challenge for the guys. Men, you need to step up and take responsibility for your faith life and the faith life of your families. There's been ever a time in our history, our culture, where we need men to be holier. It's now. And I mean, I know it's asking a lot. You guys are tired. You work hard. You take care of your families, you know, your spouse, your kids, and you're like, I just need to go to bed. No, you need to pray. All right, you can sleep some other time. You need to pray. And this adoration chapel specifically, I need men, especially to take those early hours. I need men just to take an hour where you realize, you who feel like you've got to do everything and fix everything and be everything, can actually come to a place where you don't have to do anything except Jesus, be with Jesus so he can tell you what he's going to do through you for your family and for your spouse. Well, guys, I need you to come, and I need you to take an hour. Step up and save your family's life by letting the Lord save your life. Do that. That's my challenge to you. Guys, we need you. Need you bad. No, you come and you do all that, and you're thinking, well, what happens if I come late at night and I'm the only one here? Well, the doors, that whole chapel is going to be completely secure. Nobody's going to be able to get in. Building's locked up. All the doors into the chapel are going to be locked. The only access point is the exterior door, which you can't get in with except without a keypad code. And, you know, you're not going to be letting anybody in who doesn't have the code because they can't get in. They don't have the code. They don't get in. Well, what happens if I have to go to the bathroom and I have to leave the chapel? No, there's going to be a bathroom in there. We're adding the bathroom right now. I'm taking all your excuses away. So you can pick your hour. You can change your hour. You can get a sub. It's safe. There's a code. There's a bathroom. There's going to be a library in there. So if you forget your book, there's still something there for you to read. There's going to be tons of space. You say, well, I get tired sitting in a chair. Well, then lay on the floor. That's what I do. We have a chapel over in the house, in the basement, and I get tired, and I just lay down. It's like, all right, Jesus, you and I are going to have a little nap, and or sit on the floor with your back against the wall. Do whatever. It's your time with Jesus. You do what you want. And there's that sheet that we handed to you on your way in. It answers all these questions. There's that card in your pew that I need you to fill out. Pick your hour, and then if you're not ready to do it, then bring it back next week. But if, let's say you still need time to think about it after my homily, then after Mass, there's going to be a table in the hallway, and there's a couple tables in Dempsey, outside Dempsey, with all the cards on it, and you can fill it out. Now, in there's all these boards going around the room with the days of the week and the time slots. And you can look to see which ones are open. You can pick one that's already been picked, There's no limit to how many people can do an hour. But pick one that hasn't been picked, great. There's green little stickers there, so you can put one on the hour, so we know how many people are signing up for hours and which ones still need to be signed up for. So do that after. So even if you throw it in the collection basket at Maston, I still need you to do the sticker thing so we know who's signing up. And that'll be extremely helpful to us. And like as I say, if you're not ready, bring it back next week. But brothers and sisters, at least try it. Do this for me. I don't ask you guys to do a lot. And I know you put up with a lot from me, but I don't ask you to do a lot. This is a big step for us, and it's not going to work if we get timid about it. We need to step up and say, I'm going to at least give it a shot. And I'm promising you, I'm guaranteeing you, if you do that, the Lord's going to change your life and your family's life. He's going to change your marriage. He's going to change who you are. Don't be afraid of that. Don't be afraid to give up your apartment and your Cub games and your motorcycle. We've all got our stuff. But none of that should get in the way of our relationship with Jesus and what the Lord is calling us to do for our families. That's the most important thing. Nothing should get in the way of that. Surrender it. Give it to Him. Huh? So there we go. It's a great day for us. When I had three things, when I first got here, I said, three things I want to do right away. And I'm just finishing up my, I think, third year. Yeah, third year in June. That's amazing. What were my three things? Daily confession, we've done it. Daily mass for the school kids, done. And now finally, perpetual adoration. Here we go. And we're gonna have it here, but we're still gonna do the Wednesday downtown because there's some people who love that place downtown, and I think it's appropriate that they're part of this too. There's a quote from Tolkien, the guy who wrote Lord of the Rings. He said, and this it resonates with me. He said, out of the darkness of my life, so much frustrated, I put before you the truly one great thing to love on earth, the Blessed Sacrament. And with it, I give to you joy, peace, humility, virtue, glory, love, and your life's greatest adventure. That's awesome. Or to put it more succinctly, you give me an hour and I'll give you eternity.